guys. I want to share a scripture from 3 John, chapter 1, there's only one chapter, and verse 2. It says, "Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that may all go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well." And I wanted to talk a little bit about healthy living. It is God's desire and his design for us as his children to walk in health. Jesus paid a high price for us to have healing. In Isaiah 53:5, it says that by his stripes we're healed. In 1 Peter 2:24, it says by his stripes we were healed, looking back at the cross, that Jesus paid for our healing. I believe in laying hands on the sick and they will recover, but I also believe in obedience to the word of God and to the basic things that God gives us as tools to walk in health. So I want to give a couple of those tools that I've learned over the years. Some of you might know my story and how very sick I was for very many years. Lots of doctors, lots of medications, lots of failures, lots of hopelessness and no cure and all that. And instead of just healing me instantly, like I've seen other people healed, the Lord took me through process. And so these are some of the things that I've learned in the last 20 plus years of walking this journey of health. So I've just put a few notes here on my computer so I don't forget things. But one of the things that recently I've been more involved in understanding is minimizing plastics. So there have been a lot of studies about microplastics and how bad they are for your health. And at first I was like, conspiracy theory, yeah, whatever. I had so much plastic in my house because with a lot of kids, you don't want things to break, so you're buying plastic all the time so that if they drop it, it's not a big deal. But you may not be able to completely get rid of all plastics, okay? I really can't in my life. It would be stressful for me to get rid of every plastic thing. But whatever you can minimize with plastics, there are a lot of studies to show that you could be advancing your health drastically. So that could be your containers you put things away in the refrigerator. Maybe your kids don't touch those, but they do touch their bowls and plates. So on those things, maybe you'll use plastic, but on the items you're putting in the fridge, you use glass. So you just do what you can do as far as minimizing plastics around your food. Okay, the other thing is there are certain things in the kitchen that are a great investment. It might be expensive at first, but some of these will save you not only money, but health in the long run. So one would be a slow cooker. So some of you may not be familiar with this, but it's just, I have one out there, and maybe in a little while, I'll just post some pictures. I'm not sure, David, how we can go about that. We'll figure it out. He's taking this video. Maybe I could put some pictures somewhere to show you. But the slow cooker is in the morning. I put ingredients in the slow cooker. I turn it on and it cooks for me all day. And then by lunchtime, it's ready. Or after lunch, I put ingredients in the slow cooker, just throw it there, turn it on, and it's cooking. By dinner, it's ready. So if I'm in ministry and I have to leave at a certain time, and I want food ready when I come home, everyone's hungry, they want to eat, I don't have 2 hours when I come back or an hour when I come back to cut up vegetables and all of that, I can prepare ahead of time. Extremely important investment. The second one is an air fryer, which is new for me, but a lot of fun. So I just recently got an air fryer. Great investment because it bakes in small portions and you don't have to start up the oven. So for me, if you're an oven baker, or if you like oven but you don't have an oven, you would like to have one, the air fryer is really good for that. So look it up, really good option. It does not heat up the whole house. It's very easy to clean if you get a liner. I just get like paper liners that I put inside, and I just put the paper liner, put my vegetables, close it up. In like 9 minutes, it's finished baking, let's say broccoli, that would normally take 15 to 20 minutes in the oven. I also don't have to preheat it, and it doesn't heat up my house. So very good investment. The other one is a blender. So blenders are great for just making shakes and smoothies and hummus and all kinds of things. Food processor. This is another important one, which are two different items. The food processor is a little bit more hefty for certain types, and I'll give you some examples. And the blender is more towards the fruits and shakes and things like that. Okay, so the food processor, peanut butter, super easy. Okay, so you just get a thing of peanuts. I usually get dry roasted Planters peanuts because they're really quality. But you can do it with a less quality nut. You could do it a cheaper one, whatever. But peanut butter, all you have to do with your food processor is drop your peanuts in the food processor. You close the lid and you put it on high. you'll start to see it going around, and eventually the nut pieces will stick to the side. Turn it off, scrape them off the side. Turn it on again. Wait till they stick to the side, turn it off, scrape them off the side. Literally, it's like that. Like every minute you scrape the sides, and then after 9 minutes you have peanut butter. Like it literally is just that. It's literally just letting the food processor, that's a word I'm gonna get by the end of this video, letting it work. And then when it starts, the sides start getting the peanut butter, the peanuts are stuck to the sides, scrape them down and do it again. That's literally the whole thing. Peanut butter is so easy. And I can make a thing of peanut butter, like a nice jar of it, for, let's say, what would it be, like 150 pesos or something? Whereas if you go buy that natural peanut butter with no sugar, no preservatives like that, if you go buy that, it's like 600 pesos or more. You go to Healthy Options, it's like 650, 700 pesos. I think there's even some that are 800. Ridiculous. You could seriously make it like that without a problem. And it's so much healthier because there's just no peanut butter on the market. I've gone to the stores, I've looked. There's not a peanut butter in the regular market. It doesn't have all kinds of sugar, hydrogenated seed oils, all kinds of preservatives to keep that on the shelf for longer and to make you happy that you got sugar, but it's not good for you. Even if you made peanut butter the way I'm saying and you added some sugar, it's still healthier than the stuff you get in the store. Okay, strawberry jelly, so easy. So at regular SM Lanang, at the Azuela grocery, several of these places are starting to have frozen strawberries or frozen blueberries. I've even seen frozen mixes and frozen cranberries. Very simple. I just put the frozen strawberries in a pan and I heat them up until the liquid from the frozen starts to make it in like a strawberry juice. I'm gonna smash those strawberries, smash, 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 smash. I could put some chia seeds, which is an incredible way to make it a little thicker with great health ingredient. You don't need the chia seeds, you're okay without it, but the chia seeds are very helpful. Then I'm gonna get lemons or lemoncito, and I'm just gonna get that lemon in there. And that is because pectin, which is found in lemons or lemoncito, is gonna thicken that up for you. So as you're cooking, you're just cooking those strawberries, moving them around so they don't stick, they don't get burnt at the bottom, move it around. Putting some lemon or limoncito on it so that pectin is there, thickening it up. You're gonna let it thicken. Now you can add something like maybe a honey. You could even add white sugar and it would still be healthier than the things you're buying with chemicals to hold the preservatives that hold it on the shelf. So I don't put white sugar in mine. I only use honey or a maple syrup. You could use a date syrup if you ever go to Israel, which is I brought some back and that was great. But even so, that's expensive, I understand. Coconut sugar is better if you don't have that. Even white sugar at that point is still better than the chemicals. So I try to avoid white sugar. Pretty much in this house, we don't use it for anything except for probiotics, like kombucha, things like that. But again, chemicals are way worse. So just, if you're gonna get rid of the chemicals and add a little sugar, at least you're doing something. Okay, another one is coffee. So coffee is one of those debates out there. Is it good, is it not good? Okay, this depends on the individual. And you'll find this, some people can drink coffee on a regular basis and they don't seem to have much of a reaction. Others, they drink it and immediately there's something doesn't feel right, something's wrong. So your body will tell you, but they have done studies that have shown people who do drink coffee tend to have better microbiome than those who don't drink coffee at all. However, when I say coffee, I mean fresh, real coffee. I don't mean mixes that have all kinds of chemicals in them. Get away from the chemicals. Look at ingredients. When you buy something, look at the back and see what is in this. It might say natural, but you look at the ingredients and it is not natural. They add things. Don't believe the advertising. Believe the evidence of what they are required to put, which is on the ingredients. So if it has chemicals in it, it's not coffee. It should be a coffee bean, and that's it. So you either grind that coffee bean yourself or you buy a brand that is simply just ground coffee beans. Then you add your own items to it. Okay, so you can then add your own amounts of sugar in a small amount. For me, I don't add any sugar at all to anything. I add either a maple syrup or honey, or I've learned to enjoy coffee without it. I actually just like straight black coffee. I also like coffee with a little bit of oat milk or a little bit of other types of soy milk. I don't personally drink anything with milk that is dairy. They call it fresh milk here. Dairy is very detrimental. There's a lot of studies that show that dairy is not good for you. So all of the studies that these old ancient, advertisements that they still carry on, Cheese Whiz is good for your calcium. No, it's not. There's nothing good about cheese as far as calcium, nor about milk as far as calcium. And you can look this up. The ratio of calcium to phosphorus is not correct in dairy products. So even though there's calcium in it, your body is not absorbing it like it should be. The actual superstars of calcium are green leaves. Green leaves, things like basil, lettuce, oregano, kangkong, even kamongai. These are your superstars of calcium, okay? Because the ratio of calcium to phosphorus is correct, and sometimes even super better. Like for instance, I think oregano is like 8 calcium to 1 phosphorus, something like that. So that's a superstar for calcium. You're going to absorb so much more of that because of the ratio being correct. If the ratio is not correct, as in milk and cheese, it might look like you're getting calcium, but your body is not absorbing it properly because the ratio is off. So again, these are the most recent studies. Those ancient, these cheese companies and milk companies, they don't want to die out. So they'll continue to take those old studies and use them. But look this up for yourself. Look up the ratio and look up the absorption, and you'll find out that milk and cheese are not good for you. That's a dairy problem. Okay. So your superstars are greens, berries. Actually, we call them the G bombs. Okay, so I'll start with greens. The G in G bombs is greens. The next B is beans. So beans and seeds of any kind. Great superstars of health. The O in G bombs is onions. Onions of all kinds. The M in G bombs is mushrooms. Mushrooms, super antioxidants, very good for you. And they last a long time. And you can grow them indoors. You can grow them inside of a like a drawer. You could have drawers in your house and grow your mushrooms there. Really, really easy. And they're easy to find pretty much anywhere. If they're expensive, grow them yourself. Okay, so that's G bombs up to the M. The next B is berries. Strawberries, blueberries, I said that before. And the S would be seeds. Okay, so those seeds are things like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds. There's so many different seeds. And nuts. So seeds and nuts kind of goes together. There's your peanuts, your walnuts, any types of nuts. Okay, now some people do have allergies to certain nuts. If you learn that's a problem you have, just lean more towards the seeds. So these are basic health things. Last one I want to share, because I'm running out of time here, is drink water. Do not drink soda. Listen, Coca-Cola is used to pour on engines when there's corrosion in the on the terminals of your battery, not an engine, in the battery. There are you pour Coca-Cola to remove that corrosion. That's like an old way of doing it. It's actually not that great for your car, but that's the old way of doing it. It cleans corrosion. You think if it's tearing up corrosion on my terminals of my battery of my car, what is that doing to my inside? You should never drink soda. There's no reason to. Get yourself off of it. If you have to, move into coffee. If you have to, move into green teas, which are excellent, top of the antioxidant list that kills cancer. Green tea. Stay away from those unhealthy, any sodas at all, any Cokes, Sprite, any of those. Full of sugar, full of unhealth. You're pouring cancer down your body. Okay, so don't do that. Drink water. Add things to your water. Add lemon to your water. Add cucumbers in your water. Infuse your water if you have to, but stay away from those sodas. Okay, basic health tips. I hope this is a blessing to you today. Sorry kay paspas kayo akong English, kay slang kayo, pero limited kayo akong panahon akong oras. So be blessed. Have a great day.